And we ask ourselves what we are truly thankful for. Some, like our next guests, are thankful to be alive. In part one of our new series, Hopeful Holidays, we introduce you to a survivor who has triumphed over a tragedy with a newfound sense of family, faith, and love.
April 15, 2013 started out the same as any marathon Monday did.
Every year since she was a little girl, Roseann Sdoia and her family would wait at the finish line of the Boston Marathon for their friends to run by. That year was no different.
We had gotten that text that our friend Jen would be coming, so we stepped outside to the barricade, and we were just out there waiting for her to come down the street. I remember everything. I saw two flashes of white light at my feet and then landed on the sidewalk. And in my mind, I was like, if I don't get help soon, I'm gonna die.
A Good Samaritan and a cop helped Roseann control the bleeding from her leg, and a Boylston firefighter named Mike Materia helped transport her to the hospital, coming back several times to check on her progress.
I wanted to make sure she lived, that was my main concern. I met her family right away, and they were awesome people, and it was very touching to meet them and help them out. Well, what I thought was helping them out, but I'm sure they were helping me out too.
Roseann spent several weeks in the hospital, but family and friends kept her in good spirits.
I wasn't speaking a whole bunch at that point, but a couple of things I do remember is someone said, take a picture with Mike, and I was like, I'm not taking a picture with him as he's standing right there. And then I think my mom mentioned something about how cute he was. Again, he was right there, and I was like, Mom, he's too young for me. But that was kind of the beginning of our relationship.
I'm pretty awkward socially with anything in terms of girls, so my face, I'm sure, was bright red.
Despite Roseann's meddling mother, Mike continued to visit her in the hospital, and after she was discharged, he would accompany her to rehab appointments.
I think getting to know Roseann, I'm like, wow, she's a pretty cool person, good personality, fun person to look at fake legs with, And then I guess it evolved from there.
And evolve it did. Mike and Roseann officially started dating 2 months after the attack. And last December, Mike proposed.
I love it.
Wedding planning went into full effect.
Good boy.
But Mike and Roseann have never lost sight of the bigger picture.
I don't know that meeting me is worth losing a limb for, but it's been a crazy journey that from the first time I met Roseann, being that they're there to watch her learn how to walk again, the big, huge plus out of it was that she's a great person, someone that I can't think of not being with.
Do I wish this ever happened to me? No. Do I wish it never happened to me, knowing the people that I know and have in my life now, especially with Mike? I can't answer that in another way of saying that I wish I had my leg back, because what I have now is so much more important than that.
When we come back, Mike and Roseann are here with what happened next in their unbelievable story. Before the break, we met Roseann, who lost her leg in the Boston Marathon bombing, and the firefighter who helped her that day, Mike Materia, who is now Roseann's husband. Their story is told in Roseann's new book, Perfect Strangers, Friendship, Strength, and Recovery After Boston's Worst Day. Thank you both so much for being here. So Roseann, I thought that one of the pieces that jumped out at me was that you remember almost every moment. Do you remember your first thoughts about him? I mean, he was there saving your life.
There were so many people that were there kind of helping me and working on me at that point when they were getting me ready to be loaded into my ride to the hospital, that I didn't, there wasn't any thought at that point. I do recall being in the back of what we call a paddy wagon in Boston.
A prisoner transport vehicle?
Yeah, sorry, that's the politically correct answer. I've been corrected on that once or twice. After everything happened, I told my parents, I swear this was the only time I had ever ridden in the back of one of those. Which is the truth. A police car is another story, but that's...
Oh, wow. Good tease.
That's another book.
And that goes for both of us.
Yeah. But you know, I do recall being in the back of that vehicle with him kneeling next to me, trying to keep, because I was on a backboard. They had boarded me, getting me ready for transport. And I remember the board sliding a little bit. And I remember him trying to position himself to support me on there so it wouldn't slide. Because if anybody's never been in the back of one, there's no seatbelts back there.
Yeah, right.
So there's no way to attach me.
Meanwhile, Mike says that she was a backstreet driver. Even with the loss of her leg, she was back there sort of telling people how to go, what streets you were on.
Exactly. I knew what I was getting into when I married her.
And what was the first moment for you? Because you kept going back to check on her. First of all, why? Why did you do that? Why were you so attentive?
First of all, I just wanted to make sure she was okay, and then I developed a bond with her family. And I think, you know, something so catastrophic happens, and how do you not stop helping? You know, like, so her family let me, you know, they let me in, let me keep helping. And
My friends took him all under their wing. He'd gone to a fundraiser on a Friday night, and I had seen it on Facebook while I was at the rehabilitation hospital that he was out with all my girlfriends. And I had that little, like, wait a minute, what's he doing with them? I was jealous. And that was early on.
Your mother was the foreseer of all.
Oh, we don't want to give her a bigger head than she has.
She gave,
Hi, Mom.
she gave
She's
you a little
listening.
nudge.
Yes.
Right? Embarrassing you right in front of him, saying how cute he was.
Yes.
Was there a little part of you that was thankful she did it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think that, you know, in that situation, she was hoping for the best. So, and that was kind of something that gave her a good feeling of what had happened.
I know, Mike, you said it's tough to just go on with your life after an event like that. Obviously, tough for those who were directly injured, but also tough for the EMTs and the firefighters and the cops who helped.
sure.
How did that affect you?
It was just sad. It was just, you know, something like that happens, and after it happens, it's like you're kind of powerless to keep helping. And I was just fortunate that her family was so, you know, welcoming. I mean, I didn't try to force my way in there, but they're like, come back. I'm like, okay.
I guess my sister had left him a message saying that he had made me smile and to keep coming back if that is how, you know, I was going to react to him being there. So he took that message and he that's what he did. He kept coming back.
He made you laugh.
Yes, yes.
You know,
Still
it's not
does
bad.
today.
It's not bad for a shy guy to be forced to spend, what was it, 4 hours a trip? Because he went with you to look for a prosthesis?
Oh, yes. We did like 4 or 5 appointments, and it took, like, each one was between driving there, and then I would ask the prosthetist, like, I had 35, 40 questions. So by the time the appointment was done, it was like a 2-hour appointment itself. And then driving
She
home,
doubled the
so-
number just so she could get some extra time. What do you think, Mike? Go on, go on.
Maybe.
I mean, I have to ask you, because it certainly couldn't be considered a good thing to lose your leg in a terrorist attack on the country. But do you feel like the universe had some hand in bringing you two together?
I don't want to say that everything happens for a reason. I do think somehow things line up. And for whatever that may be, for me, it lined up in a good way. Because obviously you don't want to say everything happens for a reason, and then, you know, you have the people that haven't survived that terrorist attack and or who haven't survived any of the other terrorist attacks that have been happening lately. And you don't want to say that that's happened for a reason, because I don't believe that so much, but I feel as though in my world things lined up appropriately, and I'm so happy that they did.
We are too. All the best to you both. Enjoy. Newlyweds, all the best to you. And for more of their love story, you can check out Roseann's book, Perfect Strangers, Friendship, Strength, and Recovery After Boston's Worst Day.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.